Okay, I'm pretty excited about this video, but I'm always excited about the videos. This is the second installment in a series relating to balancing your financial statements if they are out of balance. And the first one focused on the balance sheet, and rightfully so, because if the balance sheet is out of balance, then you cannot go any further in this project. The idea is that we get our balance sheet in balance, and then we're able to use that as an anchor for everything else that we do. And so the first focus in the first video was getting our statement of financial position in balance in the operating fund, in the planned fund, and in the prior year. And put all of your efforts in that direction until you've got it, and then you go ready to work on the statement of financial position. The statement of financial activity right here. So if we look at the bottom of the balance sheet, down in the net assets, we see that we have these balances, and we want our statement of net assets to tally back to these balances right here. And the assumption is, and the assumption could be wrong, but at least our operating assumption is that since the balance sheet balances, since the statement of financial position balances, then these numbers are probably right. So if the statement of financial activity doesn't tie back to these numbers, then probably the statement of financial activity is wrong. So we're going to take a glance to see if we have a problem there. And so we're just going to take these numbers here and cut them out and carry them forward in our mind. And we take a look at the bottom of the statement of financial activity and compare the ending balances in net assets for the operating fund and the planned fund and the prior year, and make sure that they tie back to the balance sheet. And we could see that the prior year number matches, okay, that the planned fund number matches to the number in the net assets of the balance sheet, but we see that we have a problem here. And so the process that we go through to find our error in this column would work equally well in the planned fund or in the prior year. Okay, so once I show you how to do it for the operating fund, you just apply the same principles to these other two, the planned fund and to the prior year. So let's get started. And the first thing we have to do is, so we've got the problem here with this number of 425,889, and this is composed of this year's net income and the net assets at the beginning of the year. Okay, and so what we're going to do, and if this is a little bit confusing, I've got a May 31st year in my sample database. So that's what's going on with those dates. So we've got to decide, is the mistake in the current year or in the current year or in the prior year? And so to find out what is our net income for this year, we go back over on the statement of financial position. We feel these numbers are right. So we'll just take that and we'll drill down on those numbers by period. Okay. And I'm running this at my example here, class example, is for the year ending December the 12th period, May 31st of 2009. So that's what's going on here. And so if I just simply take all of this year's figures, okay, carefully have chosen that, you see I've got the total right up here of 96,540.32. And if I go look over here at the income statement, I've got 99,601. That's not the same figure. And so let's just do, just sort of showing more of this. Let's take the complement of that, the opposite, taking all of that, and I've got a negative 525,489.77. And so I can come back over here to my statement of financial activity and see 52549, you know, rounded, it's the same number. 525,490. Come back over here, select those. $525,490 rounded. Okay, so that means that my problem is in the current year, and I now can conclude that this number is right. Okay, that it's the balance forward is right, and so it is just in this year's net income. But since we know from this process that we did over here, we know that the right income for the year is a 96,540.32. That's the right net income, 96,540.32. Okay, so now I think the simplest way to move forward is to start a new calculation. Okay, and maybe this would be a good way to do it. We just do a summary link. This is a way to approach this, and I'll do it from the ledger, account code all of my 6s and to 9 ZZZZZ, right? Accounting period for just 2009. And then finally, I want to filter it because I'm only looking at Fund 10, okay, the operating fund. So I'll filter it for Fund 10 so we don't get all of the plant fund into the deal. And we go to base amount, and we can extract that, and we'll see that we've got 965432, the same number that I got over here as being the right amount of net income, 965432. Now all that has done for me is confirmed that I have written my query correctly. So now if I drill down on that by account code and description, we have the simple problem of making sure that every account here on this formula that comes down to the right net income figure, we need to find and make sure that every one of these appear on the statement of financial activity somewhere in here. So the way that I like to do that is I just love working with Excel, so I just copy this baby right here. Now some of you could say, well, why didn't you do this in Excel in the first place? Well, that would have been just fine. The one advantage of doing it in Excel, doing an executive and copying Excel, is I've got really powerful drill down powers over an executive. So we'll paste this. Important thing for copying and cutting and pasting from executive to Excel is that you have to have Excel open before you start to copy. Don't ask me why. You just go ask your mom. So you have to, before you start a copy, you have to have Excel open when you're cutting out of executive into Excel. Okay. Let's see if we can get this thing formatted a little bit better. And now we'll work in such a way as that you could see both screens, or try to. Okay, the executive and Excel, we're lined up here. We're getting there. There we go. So what we're doing here is that we've got our income statement here on the left, and the trial balance, which we know has the right figures. So we know the figures on this Excel sheet are right because we proved it against the balance on our statement of financial position. And so now it's just a matter of finding if there's anything that's in the income statement that is not over here from this list, or vice versa. Is the financial statements picking up something that's over there, or it's missing something that's over here? One of the two. Okay? And so we just start working slowly down this, and we just start at the top and we drill down, account code and description. And so we've got these three right here. And we can copy the whole thing if we want. I actually sometimes don't copy the whole thing, but it starts right there. We'll leave a little bit of a space so you can see. And I think I will narrow that down so it's able to show on the screen. So we take this and we go equal sign plus that, and that's 0. Okay, so that's 0. That means it's good, and all that's 0, and we're working just fine. And we roll on down. Okay, specific donations, account code and description. Okay, copy that. I think we'll just do that. Okay, pull it down. Ooh. Formula didn't exactly work right, but you can see the two numbers are the same. Okay, hopefully we'll be just fine. All right, we'll continue down. We'll get this one, investment income. I'll show you a few. Okay, account code and description. Pick up these three. Okay, see, we still have in the 0. And I know this is getting boring. Let's just do a operating income. Okay, let's drill down on that. Maybe I'll try to hurry through this. Whoa, hold on, Newt. She's headed for the barn. Okay, we've gone through each of the numbers on our statement of financial activity, and we see that they were all properly brought from this listing, so they're all picked up correct. So the numbers here that are here were all correct. One of the things that a warning to be careful about, as you could see if you watched the video closely, I often fiddled with the equation. If you were very disciplined and did it all exactly the same way, you would use the same equation all the way through. The exception to that would be the difference between the income accounts, the revenue accounts, versus the expense accounts, because their signs would be opposite. But in any case, you do want to be careful, because you could have actually a mistake that covers up. If a number was brought over as a negative when it should have been brought over as a positive, or vice versa, that little quick switching of the equation would mess you up. Now, so we've done it all, and we could see, well, there's no values in this account. 75110 has a zero balance. Nothing was brought over, and it looks right. Okay, and we could see, just I'm looking down this row here, you could see a column there. You can see all of those are zeros. And we get down to here, and we could see that we do have a value here of a 196,140 that is nowhere over in the income statement. And you could say, this is exchange loss 95,110. And as you know, if you're carefully reading the accounting manual, as you know, that exchange losses show up in the revenue section of the income statement. Very interesting, but that's not our topic today. But exchange losses belong right there, and you can see I've got a zero. And so this is account 95110. Why isn't it being picked up there? So I will open up the value of exchange gains and losses and open it. And I can see that I'm not picking up the 9. I'm only picking up the 751s and the 950s, but I'm not picking up 951s. You see, so if I need to fix this, so it's the equation you could see is wrong, because this is picking up everything that starts with 950, and my account here starts with 951. So I would want to fix my query here to make sure that it picked up my 951s. Okay, and so to do that real quick, I could account code, filter, and I could say 951, like so, to pick up everything that starts with 951s. And we extract this baby. And we come back over here now, and we can see my net income is my 96,540, which is what I told you we discovered at the beginning it was supposed to be. So my total net assets is 622,030. I ought to be able to take a peek over here and go 622,030, and this baby is now okay. So stay tuned for our next videos looking at the next statement. We're just going to continue working down. We've looked at how to balance a statement of financial position, and then the statement of financial activity, And then we need to look at balancing my statement of net assets and then cash flow. The rest of these are very easy because to find out what's wrong with these, you simply drill down on the number they're supposed to balance into. Well, we'll get to that when we get to it. So we really don't have to go through every one of these pages, mostly just covering these next three. And so stay tuned and you will we'll see what we can discover there. So thanks a lot for supporting Sun Plus.